So yeah, nobody twisted my arm to watch this series. I mean, you go on Facebook, it's all over Facebook. I listen to podcasts and it's all over the podcast. So I'm like, what the hell? I might as well go ahead and watch it. What do I got to lose? And you know what? I ended up watching it. And that's what I'm here to talk about right now. Stranger Things. So yeah, Stranger Things is basically about this kid that goes missing in a small town. And the friends of the kid, the family, and the sheriff all kind of go on their own missions to find out what's happening, where the kid is, and what's going on. And along the way, start to witness all this weird stuff that's happening. And one of the weird things is that the kid's friends ends up befriending this girl who has a strong connection to everything that's going on. And now they're trying to figure out what the hell is happening. And one thing that I can say is that it takes place in the 80s and it has a great 80s vibe to it. I mean, it reminds me of that movie Super 8. If you've never seen it, go ahead and check it out because I really love that movie. But it gave me a strong sense of that. You actually feel like you're in the show, like you're in the 80s. And that's one thing that I can say about it. You really get immersed within the series as it goes along because you're so invested in it. And the acting is so good. Everybody did a great job with their acting. From the kids, to the mom, to the sheriff, to the friends, everybody. I mean, I was just astonished how good it was. And just the story. The story wasn't overly complicated. I mean, it was easy to follow, but at the same time, it was still good. I mean, it worked for it. From just how it starts off with the first scene all the way to the end. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed it. And it was both creepy and scary. And that's the one thing that kind of like makes a scary show or a scary movie good to me, is that if it has both of those factors. If you advertise it as being scary, it has to be scary. If you advertise it as creepy, it has to be creepy. And this was creepy and both scary. And the character development was strong. I mean, by the end of the series, you care for each one of these characters. So if anything happened, you were sitting there just on the edge of your seat like, what the hell? You know, you were actually feeling that emotional attachment to these characters. And the chemistry between them, I mean, golly. When it shows the chemistry between the friends, the kids, and everything, it's like you kind of feel like you want to be in that circle. You want to be friends with these kids. You know, you want to be that age. You want to go on this adventure with them. And that also has to do with the mom of the missing child and her other son. Just the connection that they have. And I really felt like this series was more, it had more of a movie feel than anything. It really didn't feel like a series. And that's not a bad thing. I mean, I felt like it was a long extended movie. Like it was a 8-part movie. And it really, they did it really good. I mean, just from the way it was shot as well. Like, it was shot really good. I mean, it was great camera work in this. And just the direction in it was so spot on. It was so good. And it had good humor. Like, the humor in it, it was actually pretty good. And it had a lot of emotion to it. You felt the sadness when somebody was sad in there, when they was like breaking down, or when they were mad, or when it was just drama. Like you felt it, like the emotions were there. It's like you feel the emotions that the characters are going through. And I really did like the look of the creature, like just from just the dark points and just how scary and creepy it looked. I like the look of the creature. I like weird looking creatures, and that was a weird ass looking creature, and it intrigued me. It was very interesting to see that the actual look of the creature. But speaking of that, it does have its bad points. With a show like this, it's low budget. I mean, you can tell from just from where it's shot, how it was shot, and just the type of story it is. And just like I said, I like the look of the creature, but once it actually was in light and you actually saw the CG, it really didn't work. You know, it was like they tried, but it just kind of took me out of the series just at that little point. Not for the rest of it, because the rest of it was really good, but it was just that it didn't work for me. I like the look of the creature, but it was like you should have just kept it in the dark and made it a little bit more realistic, or you know, made it a little bit more better. But it was just, yeah. And just along with the CG, it was a scene, like, this isn't a spoiler, but it's a scene where a character is getting levitated, and just the way it looks off. It doesn't look right. Like, I feel like they could have did it a different way, or, you know, done something totally different, but it just kind of took me out of that scene for that moment. But overall, this series was actually pretty good. I watched it, and from the first episode, I was locked in all the way into the end. I feel like if you like scary shows, if you like creepy shows or creepy movies or whatever, you are going to like this. Especially if you're a big fan of 80s horror, you are going to enjoy this. It has like a little flavor of, I guess people didn't say it reminds them of the Goonies. It has like an E.T. type feel to it. But really, I mean, it was highly enjoyable. I recommend this to anybody who wants to watch a good show, who don't know what to watch, who's on Netflix, just clicking away. Go ahead and find Stranger Things, give it a whirl. I promise you, you would not regret it. If you are a big fan of horror, you will love this, because this was done beautifully, and I really love this show. So go ahead and give it a check out. And with that said, this concludes this Take One review of Stranger Things, and I'd like to thank you guys for watching this video. If you like it, I know you did, man, just go ahead and hit the like button, comment down below, subscribe to my channel, share this video and all that good stuff, and keep an eye out for all the other stuff that I did. I'm doing like podcasts and all that good stuff. I have other movie reviews. Everything is in the description below. I have my Suicide Squad review out, as well as I have my Sausage Party review out. And also check out all of my social medias from Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. All that is in the description below. And there will be more within the weeks to come. And I will catch you guys later. Until next time.